Be'ezras Hashem Yisparach Erev Yom Tov Sukkot Shnas Tov Shiyam Pei Beis. There's this amazing story, Rabbi Harroch first, who he survived the concentration camps, came to America, and he would say over this story. It's a story I heard from Rabbi Shechter in America. He said that when he was in the concentration camp, there was a convert, a Ger Tzedek, who he was a German goy, and he converted to Judaism. And Rabbi Harroch first said this man looked like a German goy with a blonde hair, blue eyes. And Rabbi Harroch was wondering, and he asked him, you know, you can be the first one to survive this war. You can walk around Germany, no one will think you're a Jew. And yet you're still here in the concentration camp. Did you not try to escape? And he said, to escape? I converted to be part of the Jewish nation. And being part of the Jewish nation is to be with the Jews in every time, in every circumstances. And he said, you know what caused me to become a Jew? What did I see that caused me to become and say, I want to be part of this nation? He said, when I was walking along the roads of Berlin, one evening, I saw the Jews coming out of Shul, Motzei Yom Kippur. And I stood there in awe. I looked at them. I looked at they were shining, the Hadar, the Hod V'Hadar on their faces. Their faces were shining bright with such a holiness, such a purity, like angels. I said, I want to become a part of this spiritual holy nation, Am Yisrael. And that caused me to convert. This is a holiness of a Yid, where he walks out of a shul. And this guy was able to see this holiness, this purity. And it caused him, at the time of the darkest time of history of Am Yisrael, in the time of Shlomo HaMelech, for example, they never accepted Gerim. Everyone wanted to be Mitgayer. But in the time of German in 1930s, who wanted him at Gayer? But when this man saw the Yidden walking out of Shul on Motzei Yom Kippur, he beholded the sight of such spirituality. He said, I want to become a part of this nation. And even in the concentration camp, he never left Am Yisrael. And he was always united with Am Yisrael. This is the holiness a Yidden have. Motzei Yom Kippur, says Neure Voyim. Says only Rav Pinko, Zechet Tzaddik Livrocha, there was once a moshel of a mother. She bought for her son the most beautiful suit. She bought for this child the most beautiful suit. She splurged, she put money that it should be for this boy a beautiful suit. Why? Because it's going to be a chasana. And she told the boy, listen, Yankel, there's going to be a chasana tonight. And Saba and Safta, grandmother and grandfather, are going to see you. So make sure to look after your suit. It shall still be new and clean. Don't tear it, don't rip it, don't soil it, because we're soon going to show you Saba and Safta, grandmother and grandfather, by the Chasana. The same too says Rav Pinkos. We got the most beautiful holy suit, a new neshama, a new heart on Yom Kippur. Says the Ribono Shel Olam, keep it clean and keep it holy and keep it pure, because soon you're going to meet Saba Avram Avinu, Saba Yitzchok Avinu, the 7 Oshpizen. After Yom Kippur you can meet those Oshpizen. It says Rav Pinkus, you think you can meet those Oshpizen in the middle of the year? Avram Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu. But after Yom Kippur, after the Kedusha, the holiness of Yom Kippur, the Yid is so holy, then now you can come and you can have your Suda, your meal with Avram Avinu. This is the idea, this is what a person has after Yom Kippur. After Yom Kippur, the Kedusha is so holy, so great, that the Goy in Berlin, he was so affected by the Kedusha, he became a convert. And this is what the Shimshon Pinko says. You have the most holiest suit. Keep it holy, keep it pure, because soon you're going to meet Saba Avram and Yitzchok and Yankov. This reminded me that there was a bocher in the yeshiva where I teach. He was very close to Reb Chaim Kanievsky, Shlita. And Reb Chaim Kanievsky said, may not come to my chasna, I want to make a sheva brochus. and I want to make the Sheva Brachos in your house. He asked me, Reb Chaim Kanievsky will come to the Sheva Brachos. I remember I trembled. Reb Chaim Kanievsky is going to come to my house. It's trembling. From the Kedusha, Reb Chaim Kanievsky may come to my house. This is the idea of the Spizen. Avram Avinu is coming to our house, Yitzchok. But we're after Yom Kippur. After Yom Kippur, Avram Avinu, Yitzchok, Yaakov can be your guests in your sukkah. This is the holiness of the sukkah. There is this anecdote that I read many years ago of this Baal HaGola. There was a man who had a Baal HaGola, he was a wagon driver, and he had 2 horses, 2 strong horses, like a Baal HaGola needs. A wagon driver needs strong horses to take him to places, to destinations. And there was a ganef, a thief. He saw these 2 horses and decided he's going to come and steal the horses from the stable. So one night, he comes to the stable of this wagon driver and he sees the 2 horses. He can't take both. He takes one home. And he comes back for the second one. When he comes back to the stable to take the second horse, the wagon driver already woke up. And he opens the door and he sees a horse and he sees this thief, this man there. He says, "What are you doing here? And where's my second horse?" So the thief, he said as follows. He said, "Listen to me, please, wagon driver, listen to my story until the end. I am your horse. And let me explain to you. My name is Yankel. And in my previous life, I was Yankel the Ganef, Yankel the thief. And I stole from everyone, from everywhere. From everywhere I can steal, I stole. And after I was nifta, after I died, I went to the Beis Din Shel Malo. And they said, you were such a ganef, such a thief, you have to return in this world as a gilgul in a form of a horse. And like this, you will take people, you will take packages, you will travel and for other people, and this will be for you a tikkun, a payback to repay all the people that you stole from. So therefore, I was your horse for 15 years. But tonight, this evening, in Beis Din Shemal and the Holy Court in Shomayim, they said, you Yankel, you have come to your tikkun, you have corrected all what you have taken from people, you have paid back all your money, and now you can return to be Yankel again. So here I am, I'm Yankel, I'm back Yankel. The wagon driver says, wow, Yankel, I can't believe it, I'm so happy for you. You are my horse, and now you became back Yankel. Moira the Gilgule Neshumas over here. Hey, Yankel, take 10 ruble and become an honest man and live a good life. And Yankel goes, the wagon driver tries to go back to sleep, but he can't go back to sleep. He's full of emotions. This horse was a Yankel. What's this other horse that he's got? Maybe Shlomo, Chaim, Yaakov. Who's the other horse that he has? He can't get out this Gilgulei Neshumas that he saw, and he experienced this, that his horse became a Yankel. The next day he has to go to buy another horse. One horse isn't enough for a wagon driver. He needs 2 horses. So he goes to the marketplace of the horses. And he sees one horse, sees another horse. Then he sees a horse very, very familiar. And he says, Yankel, Yankel, one day you were a person and now you already became back a horse. This is Inyan. A person, one day we were so holy, Baruch Shem Kod Malchus Olam Voed. One day we experienced such spirituality, closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, dveikus to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But we shouldn't go back to our old ways. And we should continue this into the days of Sukkot, where we zoiche the days of Sukkot, to be able, like we explained, at such a level that we can even have Avram Avinu, Yitzchok, Yaakov, they can be our guests. This is where we are after Yom Kippur. This is the holiness of after Yom Kippur. But I would like to explain a little bit further, Bezras Hashem Yisborach, what these 4 days that we have in between Yom Kippur and Sukkot. It should have been a continuation, Yom Kippur, and now straight into the Sukkah. What's these 4 days? The answer, they can be based on the Imrei Emes, The Re'emes says as follows. I'm sorry, just switching off my phone. The Re'emes says as follows. That a person on Yom Kippur, there's Aveirus, there's Mavdil. Aveirus make a divide between him and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But after Yom Kippur, a person feels such a closeness to Hashem after Yom Kippur. There's no more Aveirus. Then the results of Yom Kippur is, I want to build a sukkah. The results of Yom Kippur is, I don't want to go back home. I don't want to go back to the office. I want to go to a place where I can continue this closeness to Hashem. I'm going to build a sukkah. So the building of the sukkah is a result of Yom Kippur. It's a result that you have such a closeness to Hashem. You want to continue it. How do you continue? I'm now going to build a sukkah. I'm going to build a place where I can be with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So we build a sukkah after Yom Kippur. We try to find a place, and we build a place where we can have a sanctuary, where we can be with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. To illustrate this point, we know that there is such a thing called offices. Such a thing called offices. An office building. But there's as well as the embassy. Embassy as well looks like an office. But it's something else entirely. If you walk into an embassy, let's say in Tel Aviv, you're not anymore in Eretz Yisrael. You've gone out of the autonomy of Israel and you've now entered United States of America. The Israeli police can stand outside. Soldiers can stand outside. In Ivrit they say, "Ze lo ya'azor lecha." You are now in United States of America. You're in a part of America. This is the idea of the sukkah. The sukkah is not just another room in the house or in the courtyard or wherever you're building a holy sukkah. But you're entering the autonomy of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You're entering the house of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And you're with HaKadosh Baruch Hu like you entered another realm of Kedusha. You may be eating, you may be sleeping, but you're somewhere else entirely. You are in the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is the sukkah. And that's where we escape to. After Yom Kippur, we want somewhere where we can be with Hashem. We want to exit Olam Hazeh. We want to go away from Olam Hazeh. People have told me, I cannot go back to the office after Yom Kippur. I can't go back to work. Because you feel you don't want to go back home. You want to go somewhere where there's Hashem, spirituality. And that's a sukkah, it's an embassy. You're in the autonomy of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is the idea of the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Or this idea of the Golus. This idea of the sukkah. And this is what the Arizal says. The sukkah is 2 walls and 1 tefach. That's a measurement of a sukkah. So therefore, what's the 2 walls? Like the 2 parts of the arm and the hand. It's a chibuk. It's Hashem being mechabak Am Yisrael, taking us in to His sukkah, to His sanctuary. And this is the idea of sukkah. Thank you very much for listening. We learned today great things. We learned Motzi Yom Kippur, the Kedusha of Yid is so great that even when he comes out of the Beis HaKnesset in Berlin in the 1930s, the Goy was so amazed and he made a transformation in his life to be convert to Judaism. And then we explained like the mother tells the young boy, keep your clothing clean because soon you're going to meet, by the wedding, you're going to meet Saba and Safta. Same to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, stay with this spirituality, the Kedusha, because soon we're going to meet Avram, Yitzchak and Yankov. And like that man who had the horses, and he said, Yankel, one day you were a person, you're still back to being a horse. This is the idea we should continue through the sukkah. And the building of the sukkah is the outcome and the result of the building of Yom Kippur. Because Yom Kippur we had the spirituality, the Kedusha. We don't want to go back home. We want to come to a place of Hashem. What's a place? Like an embassy. What's a place? That's a sukkah. We'll be zoicha to have a wonderful, wonderful Yom Tov. Chag Sukkah Sameach Be'ez Hashem Yisborach.